welcome back to another drawing video of mine. I am drawing Liam here today, and I had a really cool idea for something with magic powers today. So I went ahead and got my 3D model working, and then I started sketching over it. I used the large sketch pen at first, and then I kind of moved down to a smaller size as I was moving through the drawing. And I just wanted to get the basics of the drawing down before I turned off the 3D model. And always drawing something from a lower angle is difficult for me, for the shadows and the chin especially. That's always hard for me. So I wasn't quite sure how that was going to turn out, but it did turn out okay in the end. And then I wasn't quite sure on the expression I wanted to go with at first. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do where he was looking at something or if he was like just glowing eyes, and I wasn't quite sure what to do with the hair. I really wanted to have an effect where everything was kind of floating because of the magic powers. I really wanted there to be a lot of wind, and I feel like I kind of got that across with the clothes, but I'm not quite sure 100% how it came out. What do y'all think? Let me know down in the comments. But I was really satisfied with how my sketch came out, and I was pretty sure, even just starting this drawing out, that I wanted to go to a line art and not just do a sketch, because I didn't think I'd be able to do really good sketching just with with the effects I wanted to get at the end of this drawing. You'll see pretty soon. But I really liked, kind of how the line art turned out. I'd say the hand perspective, it was pretty good, all in all. But looking back, there was one or two things I probably could have done a little bit better, but that's okay. As you can see here, I was working on the hair and the face and kind of had a million layers going. So I really liked how the hair was coming out and the expression on the face, and I did contemplate briefly whether I should put eyeballs in the eyes, but I really wanted to do the glowing effect, and the nose was really hard for me because I wanted to do it at a low angle, but it just was not turning out right. So I kind of just defaulted to what the nose looks like when it is normal, and kind of changed the hair around a little bit so it looked more flowy. And then I started on the flame effects, and let me tell you, it is not easy to do the flame effects. I had to do several different tries on this before it kind of turned out good, with the color specifically, and I felt like I was super inefficient with my coloring process this time around, because I colored him orange, and then I did the background as brown, and then I went back and actually put the colors in, and I just felt like that was a whole waste of time. I can't even remember how long this took. I think it was almost 2 hours. But I really liked the colors I picked. I went with all orange shades in the exact same shade except for the hair, which I used a pre-color that I really like from my original idea reference for this character. It was a Picru avatar, believe it or not. And then I just continued working on the flames, and I had a lot of trouble with the layers and the colors, and I started erasing out the colors that I had literally just added in like 5 seconds prior. So I really should have done the flames and then started coloring things in, but it turned out mostly fine. Because if I had not started erasing the colors first, and if I had hidden the thing, I thought it looked really good, like without the connecting lines. Like if it had just been like the little arrows, I thought that looked really good, but it was a little bit late to do that, so I was like, I'm just gonna improvise from here and see if we can fix it. So I just started doing 3 different colors, one white, one light orange, and a dark orange, because that's kind of what's in flames. And then I got one where I really liked how it looked with just the light orange and the dark orange, and then just added 1 or 2 white highlights, and I was like, oh yeah, that looks way better. So I got a little bit more sophisticated with my color touch up in the flames and kind of redid the center a couple times. And then you can see here I'm redoing the center one more time. And I kept having to erase over the color over the fingers because the skin layer was underneath the fire layer, which I should have put, that all underneath, but that was all just going to take too long. And then I just added a different layer type. I made it, I think, glowing, glow dodge. And then I erased the little lines just so it would look good and find little touch-ups here and there. And I really overall liked how the flames were looking. So I wanted to darken the background a lot and have kind of a glowing effect on Liam so that it would all just look really cool. I wanted to have a hard glowing and then a hard dark background. And I wasn't quite 100% sure how I wanted the glowing to come out, but I ended up going with the noise modifier. And then I just kind of improvised the background with colors and dark colors and brown. And then the glowing eyes was a sweet touch where I did kind of add the pupils, but I added them in as white, so unless you look really closely you can't really tell, and I can tell because it's there, I drew it, but it kind of blends in so you can't really tell. And I kind of really like that effect where when the elemental uses their powers that their eyes glow and you can't really see their pupils. And then I started adding the shadows, and I think the biggest mistake I made here was I was using yellow to color instead of orange, and that made it a little difficult when I finished up my shading, where I wanted it to be an orange glow and not a yellow glow, and I missed a little spot on the palm of his hand and I had to go back later and squeal that in. And you'll see here in a minute where I started playing with the different overlays, and I really liked the red one, and so I kind of erased some of the stuff so it wouldn't be quite so harsh on the hands. I really just added some more shadows and just touch-ups here and there, and it really turned out really good, I think. This is it. This is the end of the drawing. Thanks you so much for watching, guys. Subscribe and like and subscribe, or subscribble as I like to say, because I scribble a lot. Bye.